So welcome guys. I am Atharva Tambade here to demonstrate you Docker. So first of all, let's begin with what is Docker. Docker is a popular virtualization software that helps developers in developing and deploying application in a Docker container. Now, what is virtualization and what is container? Let's understand one by one. So let's begin with virtualization. What is virtualization? So you can see in this image that there are two types of virtualization: virtual machine and container. In virtual machine, the structure is hardware is present. So basically, storage and other computational devices which are required are there in hardware. Then over which host OS is installed, host operating system, and on host operating system we install hypervisor. Hypervisor is a main virtualizing tool, and using hypervisor we install or we create various other virtual machines which has guest OS, and uh, over those guest OS we run or install our applications. In container based virtualization, which is performed using Docker, the structure is hardware, then there is host operating system, then there is Docker engine, and over those Docker engine we run various other containers. So container also has the same structure. There are dependencies and binary and libraries, and there is application. So I hope you got the idea of virtualization. Now, what is container? A container is a lightweight, or we can say it is a lightweight and easy to use software package containing different libraries and dependencies required to run that application. And in those container, we put our images. So whichever image or whichever application we want to run on Docker, we pull those image from Docker Hub. Docker Hub is a cloud-based marketplace where community developers put the images of applications for us. We can say that so that we can pull those images and run it on our containers. What is image? A Docker image is a file which is used or which helps us in executing the code in a Docker container. Docker images acts as a set of instructions, we can say, to build a Docker container. So I hope you got the basic understanding of what is Docker, what is virtualization, what is container, what is Docker image, Docker hub. Now let's begin with the demonstration. So I am doing Docker, or I am performing this on Linux. If you have to perform it on Windows, you have to perform or execute various other steps before this, such as you have to install Docker Hub, Docker Desktop, Docker Hub Desktop, and you have to pull the image from Docker Hub Desktop. So since it is easier in Linux, and I had Linux in my device, I am performing it on Linux. So let's begin with it. So first of all, we have to install Docker on our device. So sudo pacman -s Docker. This command will install Docker on our device. It will ask us the permission to it get installed. Just accept those permission. It will take some time to get installed. Yeah, so we can see that Docker is installed on our device. So this command is used for installing Docker, sudo pacman -s Docker. Then let's see which version of Docker is installed on our device. So by this, we can check the Docker is installed or not, and also we can check the version of Docker installed. So the Docker version 24.0.5 is installed in this device, and we have also verified that Docker is installed. Now the next command is Docker pull. So we have to pull the image. Use sudo docker pull CentOS latest. So we are pulling a image from Docker Hub of CentOS, and the version is latest version of CentOS. So just enter. It will pull the image from Docker Hub. So the Docker Hub image of CentOS is pulled. Now just put it in a container. So to put it in a container, we have to run sudo docker exec -it. Sorry, to put it in a container, we have to run the command sudo docker run -id -d and the image name. Yeah, so we have successfully put the image into container, and now we have to run this container over the Docker engine. To do that, first of all, let's check that the container is made or not. So yeah, so this command, that is docker ps, will show us all the containers which are running presently. So the container ID is this, which we can see. The image name is CentOS -bin and -bash. Stands for interactive terminal. So since we have put -it here, the CentOS container, the image, this image will be opened in an interactive terminal in the container. And the -d, this flag is used for getting it run on in detached mode. That is, it will run in the background. Now let's execute it. Sudo docker exec -it and put the container ID and just put bash after that. So enter it. Now this command is used to run the container. -it is in interactive terminal. We are running the container in interactive terminal. This is the container ID, and bash is used to interact with the CentOS. Now let's see, did we entered in the CentOS or not? Yeah, we have entered the CentOS. We can see here the user has been changed. Root, and the root @container ID is our user, and we can see various files and directories present in the Linux. Now let's make one folder in CentOS. Yeah, so by this mkdir delta, we have created a folder of the name delta. Let's check, is it created or not? Yeah, so delta. You can see here that delta named folder is created. So yeah, we have successfully demonstrated so far that we have accessed CentOS, that is image, from by pulling it from the Docker Hub and running it over Docker. Now let's get out of it. So we have came out of CentOS. Now let's check how many other containers are running. Since we have not ran any other container, only one container is running, which is this CentOS. It has been created 2 minutes ago, and I have been using it since last 2 minutes. So it is showing it here, status up to 2 minutes we have been using, and it was created 2 minutes ago. Now to stop this container from running, we have to execute the command sudo stop and just put the container ID and enter. So this command is used basically for stopping the container. We can stop the container in two methods. We can stop it using sudo docker stop and container ID. We can also stop it using sudo docker kill and container ID. Stop will slowly and gradually stop the container, and sudo docker kill will directly abruptly, we can say abruptly, cut off the Docker engine from the container. So these are the two types of stopping the container. And yeah, let's see any container is running or not. So yeah, we have verified that our container is stopped. And yeah, so I hope you got the basics of Docker and how Docker is used for virtualization. Thank you. Keep learning and keep exploring.